Alright, I've upgraded to a new pin, as you can see. I just wanted to pop in here really quickly and just say thank you for all the support and nice comments that I've received for the Blurryface Saga, the full lore of 21 Pilots video. I thought that this would be a cool little additional thing that I didn't get time to talk about into the first one. It's crazy that at the time of this recording, the Blurryface Saga video has only been out for 3 weeks, and it's closing in, I think, on like 50,000 views, and it's got the equivalent of like over a year's worth of watch time if you were to watch it nonstop, which is just absolutely mind-boggling. So thank you again to everybody who watched it and left a nice comment. I was overwhelmed by the amount of positive responses that the video received. I want to make more in the future. I'm thinking about going through a deep dive of each and every song, and that may come out as like a weekly thing. That'll probably come out as like a weekly thing, and I think I'll be starting with the self-titled album and then going chronologically throughout all of their songs, which will take some time. And then I'm thinking like it'll be maybe an episode a week if I can get to it, and then there will be larger episodes which will compile whole albums, and then when I eventually reach the end, I'll combine it all into one large video. I just don't know if I have the time and the bandwidth right now to make something as massive as the Blurryface project was. So I appreciate you for understanding that. And I'm going to go through every single song and dissect it lyrically, which should be quite the undertaking, but you know, I'm here for it. I saw the boys in concert last night. It was a lot of fun. I saw them in Charlotte. It was my 5th time seeing them, the first time not in the pit. And they played The Line there, and this is where the extra DLC content of the Blurryface Saga is coming in. And I realized that I had made a video about that, about when it came out, and I had predicted everything right with what that song could have been saying. Now obviously it has like actual real life things it's trying to say, but it also kind of fits in with the lore very well, and I didn't really get the chance to talk about it in the large video, so I thought I'd provide it here while also providing a quick update, and also as another thank you for how the video is doing. So yeah, without further ado, let's talk a little bit about The Line and what it means for the lore. The Line is a single created for the League of Legends animated series Arcane. Obviously, the song has meaning within the universe in which it was created for within Arcane Season 2. However, it also came out at a pivotal time and can certainly be viewed as a lore-adjacent song within the confines of the Blurryface Saga. Sonically, The Line is a very orchestral and vocally centered track, and it debuted in November of 2024 and was written about Tyler's grandmother's passing.
A little context, how it came about. The team over at Riot reached out. I was excited because I am a fan of the show, Arcane. And they sent a scene to me. It was in crude shape as far as the animation. It was still the beginning phases, but the emotion was still there, and I realized, like, oh, okay, I know what they're trying to say here. Coincidentally, I had just gone through my grandmother passing away. I was actually in the room with her when she passed. And it was a really, I don't know, it was sad, you know, it was more than that though. It changed me. And so, anyway, I was able to really tap into a personal experience when writing the song, while also keeping the scene in mind. I could never really write something that was just about someone else's show. I have to find what is my story inside of that, and I think that's what makes Arcane so great. Is there's so many characters and stories inside of it that you can relate to, and I'm really proud of the song, really proud of it being in this show that I love.
However, this song can hold multiple meanings simultaneously, and so I want to focus specifically on how it pertains to the lore. This song released during the Clancy World Tour, sandwiched between the album release of Clancy and Breach, where the FPE exhibits were hinting at Clancy becoming more and more corrupted. Whether through the letters between Banditos, the robe with Dear Clancy written on it, or Clancy's continued hesitancy in taking the jacket from Torchbearer. Lyrically, my body's on the line now, I can't fight this time now, I can feel the light shine on my face. Did I disappoint you? Will they still let me over if I cross the line? The quote-unquote line can be viewed as a separation between an original place and a point of no return. It could also be seen as crossing a line in terms of a relationship, which is another way of saying breaking a boundary. Although this song came out before Breach, you could say that crossing a quote-unquote line is a breach of trust or a breach of contract, something that would be expanded upon in the release of the album Breach. Tyler also sings about keeping the memories of who he was before he changes into a final form. In so many ways, this was a foreshadowing of what was to come in City Walls. It's a song about hesitancy and potential regret, something I'm sure Clancy had in his final days and moments before deciding to take on the mantle of Nico and continuing the cycle rather than destroying it. The line can be about Clancy's lamenting to Torchbearer and the Banditos on him being torn between accomplishing the original goal or becoming a whole new manifestation of Dima's power, becoming a new Nico. It really brings the whole "you don't know his real name, do you?" puzzle from the Dima.org website back into a chilling reality. His name, or title, is, or at least was, at one point Clancy, a line that all Clancys before Tyler's Clancy had crossed before. This glance between Nico and Torchbearer at the end of Jumpsuit is also put back into perspective. Torchbearer is looking at a previous Clancy, a previous friend, before he ultimately crossed the line. This song truly came out at a perfect time, as it unknowingly prepared us for the line that Clancy would come to cross and breach, and at the end of City Walls. It's a song that's an example, as of so many of theirs, that are not specifically tied into the lore, but can certainly be drawn into the lore when viewed in its context. So while the fellas are spending their well-deserved break being parents and living normal, quote-unquote, lives, I'll do my best here in dissecting every single song they've come out with, how they tie into the broader narrative of the band, and potentially the lore. Very similar to how I've tied in the line here. I'll be starting within the next few weeks with Implicit Demand for Proof off of the self-titled album and work through the 100 plus songs. So subscribe and stick around for more. Well, thank you everybody for watching. Thanks again if you've even just watched this video or if you watched my full almost 2-hour breakdown of the lore. I really appreciate it. Appreciate every one of you. Thank you to these guys. And thank you to everyone that left a nice comment. I was overwhelmed with the amount of positivity that the video received and that people got so much out of it. And so, yeah, I appreciate it. Share it with your friends. Share it with people who don't really know anything about the lore or would like to know more or are interested in the band. But yeah, I hope to make some more content in the future, and it'll be lyric deep dives. And I'm going to go through every single song, which is something like it's a lot of song. You know, I'm here for it, and hopefully you guys will be there too. So that's it. That'll be the end of the video.
What the? Is he saying something?